Hi everybody, welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show. I am Skip Alzheimer. It is the end of 2025. Good riddance. There were some great things that happened this year. Most of them involved you in this show, but in general, no. Lots of heartache and lots of annoying things. So we're good riddance. 2026, we're looking forward to. Brand new start. We're back in the archive, so that's going to help. But, yeah. Anyways, I think I've got the scanner working today. I still can't actually scan while I'm streaming, but at least you get to see some. All right, so this is different people, different values, and this is a different time. 70s, man. 70s, amazingly tolerant. Enjoy.
To this girl from Pakistan, covering her face is important. She values the teachings of her religion against showing her face in public. Each of us has some values that are different from everyone else's, and there are reasons for our differences. There are reasons for the styles of clothing people wear in each different climate and in each different culture. And there are reasons for the kinds of food we eat. In India, some people do not eat meat, even when food is scarce. Their religion teaches them that cows are sacred and should not be killed, even to feed their families. Our behavior is a result of our values. Different people can value the same things, but in different ways. For example, farmers, city people, and American Indians each value this desert land in different ways. For farmers, the dry land is worthless. Growing crops here is difficult. But Indians graze their animals and manage to earn their living from this land. Also, many places here have become sacred to the Indians, important to their religion. They cherish the land and want to keep it. Now, city people want to use this land too, because underneath the desert surface is coal, a resource they value. The farmers The Indians and the city people are three different groups, each with different values. We learn our values from many different groups and in many different ways. You might consider your nation as one of the groups to which you belong. We are taught to appreciate our nation's history and form of government. These are national values, different from those of other countries. Another national value could be education. In some countries, students spend a lot of time in school. But after school, they're free to do pretty much as they like. In some nations, children must spend more time working with their family than they do in school. Even the feeling of being grown up is different in different nations. In America, where there are many cars, young people may feel grown up when they receive their first driver's license. While this boy in Switzerland may feel grown up when his parents present him with a calf of his own to care for, so he may start his own herd. These are national values. The people in different regions of a nation may also have differences in their local values. To this girl in Utah, a driver's license isn't very important, but horses and cattle are. Her family earns their living from livestock. We learn many of our values from the community groups that are important to us. Play groups, work groups, sports groups. Some of them teach us values like cooperation.
Hey, you need a couple hands moving this piano.
Other groups might teach the value of competition.
Put all your weight down on your hands, and then when they say go, you take off, and you gotta win now, girls. Run to your mark. Get set. Go!
Sometimes we don't even recognize that we are part of a group, because we may not know everyone in it. What does this group have in common? Perhaps our most important group, from which we learned most of our values, is our family. We share more than clothing, food, and a home with our family. We share many of the same ideas, because parents teach their values to their children. Your family's values are different from those of other families. And you also have personal values that are different from anyone else's, even your family's. As individuals, we are different from all other people. We can't control all our differences, like where we were born or how we look. But we can control some differences, like how we think or how we act. If you see someone hurt, do you think about helping them? Do you act to help them? To this boy in New Zealand, ski races are important. He values winning and the things which might help him win. There may be students in your school from other cultural groups. You each have different cultural values, different family values, and you each have different personal values. Sometimes you must choose which of your values are most important. Singh often has a problem in choosing between his different values. He used to live in India, but now he lives in America. Singh's parents have taught him to follow many of their cultural customs. Singh respects his parents and their religion. He continues to wear his turban in public, even though his friends may tease him about it. Sometimes his father wants him to help him in the family store, while Singh would rather play ball with his friends. What he chooses to believe and how he chooses to act depend upon his personal values. Values that make him an individual. Sometimes it's difficult to be an individual, especially when a group of friends wants us to be exactly like them. When you are part of a group, can you accept people who act differently as individuals? Throughout the world, we all share some of the same needs. Yet we often act and think differently because of our values. How does it feel to be different from everyone else? How do you feel about people who are different from you?
Alright, so there's still, I couldn't get the audio to work initially, but then I figured it out. That's what we do here. Alright, next film. This one is fascinating. It's called Giant Mobile. And this was recently scanned from our collection. And yeah, enjoy.
I hope my class will understand this experiment. They know that the soil that feeds us is created by the forces of nature, the sun, the wind, the rain. But they don't realize how difficult it is to keep those forces in balance. And it's vital that we do maintain that balance if we hope to keep the land productive to satisfy the increasing demands of our people.
When farmers plow and plant their fields, they usually follow the shape of the land. This is called contour farming. It helps keep the soil from being washed away, called erosion. And it stops the rain from running off the land, keeping it in fields for growing crops. When the soil doesn't wash away, lakes and streams stay cleaner, and they are less likely to flood. Many farmers plant different crops in the same field in strips. They call it strip cropping. The different crops have different growing seasons. That way there are crops growing on the land most of the year. This helps keep wind and water from taking the soil away. Farmers in the western plains states plant groves of trees next to their fields. The trees are called windbreaks. They're another way of protecting the soil from being blown away by wind. They provide a home for birds and animals which eat insects and rodents which might otherwise eat the crops. Farmers have learned how to grow more and more food on their land. And they have to, because the population of the world is growing. And there's more people to feed. And we can't make more land. What the farmers do to get more and bigger crops is add nourishment or nutrients to the soil as fertilizer. Farmers also protect crops from weeds and insects and diseases with modern crop chemicals. Many farmers rotate crops too. They change the kind of crops on fields each year or so to help control insect and disease buildup. It's very important that farmers keep on strengthening and conserving the soil. It's the only way we'll all have enough food to eat.
If anybody knows how to put nature in balance and keep it that way, it's the farmer. Sure, he's learned how to conserve the land and protect the environment so he can bring in an abundant harvest every year. It's his livelihood, but it's also our life and the future of us all.
The farmer lives and works with nature, and he's the one man who really knows how to keep it all in balance. He has to, because we need food to live, and he needs healthy land to stay in business. The farmer knows how to put it all together, with contour farming and strip cropping, with windbreaks and crop rotation, with soil nutrients and weed, insect, and disease control. That's the best way to strengthen and conserve the soil, and the best way to grow more and bigger crops. And that's the way the farmer does it, for his benefit and for ours.
Thank you, Fertilizer Institute, for that fascinating film. Wow. Why was this made? Well, you know, it's PR for the Fertilizer Institute and for the industry. And they certainly made their points about all of this. What's going on here? Hold on. All right, let's try that. Perfect. So anyways, yeah, what a wacky film. And it just reeks of the 70s. And of course, my immediate thought, based on the comments, it was, what would a Wicker Man mobile look like on the island? Because it's dealing with the same concepts as far as the balance of nature. But the approach, instead of using fertilizer, is different on the Wicker Man Island. Okay, this is a Disney film, but it's in that weird realm where they made it for the U.S. government, for the military. So it's in a weird kind of copyright state, but we're going to show it and see what happens. So here it is, ABCs of Hand Tools, Part 1. Enjoy.
Simple tools in the hands of skilled craftsmen have helped to build the world we know today. A world of towering steel, of giant airplanes, fast-moving transportation, a world of mechanical wonders, products of fine craftsmanship whose origin lies in the proper use of simple hand tools. But to more fully appreciate these tools and their part in our world today, let's turn back the pages of history. 60 or 70,000 years ago, long before the beginning of civilization, our primitive ancestors lived in caves, and we today might also be living in caves, except for a certain event that took place within the gloomy depths of this long-forgotten cavern. Here, a certain Stone Age craftsman by the name of Primitive Pete stumbled upon a very good idea. He suddenly realized that by fastening a stick to a rock, like this, he could extend the length of his arm, like this, and thereby greatly increase the force of his blow, like this. Thus was born the world's first practical hand tool. Oh, did we say practical? Well, anyway, it was a good idea. In fact, it eventually led to the development of all the numerous sledges and hammers we have today. But more than that, out of Pete's Stone Age hammer came other tools, tools for every purpose. This ball-peen hammer, for example, is just a practical version of Primitive Pete's first crude invention. But like all tools, there's a right and wrong way to use it. There are still Primitive Petes among us today who would abuse this fine tool. And this would be the horrible result. Obviously, this hammer was never intended for crushing rocks. The ball-peen hammer was designed for many purposes. The peen end can be used for riveting. It's also used for shaping soft metal. When using the face, you can avoid damage when hitting a hard object simply by striking with the full face. Never strike the object with the edge. Of course, there are many other types of hammers, all based on the original Stone Age model. There's the brass or copper, the rawhide face, plastic tip, and the claw hammer, which is the most commonly used, or we should say most commonly misused. To use the claw hammer correctly, rest the head squarely on the nail. Give the nail a slight starting tap, then drive it in with steady blows. A long nail can be pulled part way with the natural leverage of the claw. Then a block of wood placed under the head will increase the leverage, making a stubborn nail easier to pull, with less strain on the handle. A hammer with a loose head can be plenty dangerous. Here's how Primitive Pete would tighten the head on his hammer, but that only damages the handle at both ends. Have you a little beauty like this in your home? A steel wedge is the right answer. Driven into the wood, the wedge spreads the handle to the tapered sides of the eye and holds it tight in both directions. Gripping the handle too close to the head reduces the force of the blow and sometimes makes it difficult to drive a nail in straight. Always grip the handle close to the end to increase the length of the lever arm and make each blow more accurate and effective. Never use a handle for a crowbar. That's going all the way back to Primitive Pete. Another familiar tool that takes an awful lot of abuse is the ordinary screwdriver. Our modern-day primitive Pete often uses a screwdriver to pry open a stubborn window. Well, maybe he'll succeed in ruining the tool. This never would have happened if Pete had known more about the screwdriver. It's made up of three principal parts: handle, shank, and blade. Some screwdrivers have a full-length shank extending through the handle. But many household screwdrivers have a shorter shank pinned to the handle in this fashion. This type will not stand the primitive Pete treatment. The best rule is never hammer on any screwdriver. Many of us try to use one screwdriver for every size of screw head. Always choose a screwdriver with a blade equal in width to the length of the slot. Another thing, never attempt to turn a tight screw if there is too much play between the blade and the slot. A bad fit can cause serious trouble. It can ruin the screw slot or the blade. This looks like the work of primitive Pete. Well, so it is. Fortunately, if the blade is not too badly chipped, it can be reground into serviceable shape. First, grind the tip straight and square with the shank. Then grind each face a little at a time, but never allow the blade to become hot. Excessive heat will draw the temper and the blade will become soft. Here are the front and side views of a properly ground screwdriver. Here's a little trick. If the faces of the blade are tapered in slightly, a short distance back of the tip, the screwdriver will stay down in the screw slot, even when a severe twisting force is exerted. Here is a special type screwdriver designed for heavy duty. The extra large square shank will stand a wrench if added leverage is needed. Don't be a primitive Pete and resort to the use of pliers. They're apt to chew up the shank. Pliers are made for other purposes. Here are some familiar types: combination, diagonal cutting, long round nose, and side cutting. These side cutting pliers are used chiefly for electrical work. To make an electrical connection, first cut the insulated wire to the required length. Then use the parts back of the joint to flatten the insulation, like this. Then grip the insulation with the cutting edges without biting into the solid wire and strip off the insulation. Now right here is where long round nose pliers come in handy. To make a neat loop to fit a terminal, first use the tip of your pliers to make a right angle bend. Then grip the wire farther up and turn the end into a loop. These diagonal pliers have their cutting jaws at an angle. They're very useful for removing and installing cotter pins. A drop of oil every now and then is good insurance against rust. Like all tools, pliers should be kept in good working order. These combination pliers, equipped with a slip joint, are very commonly used. They usually have a small shear between the teeth and the joint for cutting wire or nails. Think of these pliers as a set of extra, stronger fingers, valuable for all sorts of jobs. They should not be used to tighten or loosen nuts. The jaws might slip, chewing off the corners of the nut. A better tool for this job would be an open-end wrench. They usually come in sets, with openings ranging in size from 5/16 of an inch to 1 inch. Wrench measurements refer to the distance between the jaws. Use a wrench that always fits the nut exactly. Pushing on a wrench when the nut is tight is bad practice. Better not, Pete. We're warning you. Oh! Well, some people have to learn the hard way. On open-end wrenches, the head is set at an angle to the handle, usually 15 degrees. This permits efficient use in close quarters. For example, this nut has very little swing space around it. To start the nut, the wrench will fit one set of flats in this position. And we can give the nut a partial turn before the handle jams against the block. But if we try to repeat the action, we find the nut is in a new position and the wrench won't fit. So we flop the wrench over and get a new fit on the nut. Again, we pull the handle as far as it'll go. We keep repeating the procedure until the job is finished. An ingenious development of the open-end wrench is this type. Its adjustable jaw makes it handy for many sizes of nuts and bolt heads. But the jaw should always be set for a snug fit on the sides of the nut before exerting any great force. To use the wrench correctly, the pulling force should be applied to the stationary jaw, like this. Great force applied to this weaker adjustable jaw might ruin the tool. This type of wrench is not intended for hard service, so don't overstrain it. And remember to keep the moving parts well oiled. There are many uses for a medium-sized monkey wrench. This tool also is often abused. The jaws should always be adjusted to a tight fit. And remember to exert the pull on the right side, opposite the opening. If the wrench is used the wrong way, it might slip off the nut and do a lot of damage. See what we mean? Trying to force a stubborn nut by hammering on the handle of the wrench is a sure sign that you're a primitive Pete. If you really want to ruin a good tool, try this on your monkey wrench. You can ruin yourself, too. What Pete needed was a bigger wrench. And we should remember that there is a proper tool for every job, if we'll only take the trouble to use it. Pipe wrenches are used for turning pipe fittings, and other round objects. The teeth of the pipe wrench will not grip the fitting unless the tool is worked in the correct position. For best results, the bite should be taken at the center of the jaws. Remember, the teeth will always leave their mark on the work. However, if you must use a pipe wrench on plated fixtures, you can first wrap the pipe with a leather strap. This will protect the finish. A popular wrench with mechanics is the box wrench, designed for use in close quarters. The 12 notches in the head of this tool make it possible to get a good fit over the nut in almost any position. notice the nut is gripped at all 6 corners. To ensure a working clearance, the head of this wrench is offset from the handle at a 15-degree angle. Some mechanics call this tool a knuckle saver. Here's a combination of a box and open-end wrench, sometimes called a half and half. The box end is ideal for breaking loose a tight nut. Then, if there's no clearance for a full spin, the open end may be used to turn the nut off more quickly than the box end. Every workshop should have a set of socket wrenches with at least one handle to fit the different sockets. However, a good mechanic needs a larger set, like one, with a dozen sockets and several handles for different types of jobs. These special handles provide leverage in almost any position. For example, this hinged offset handle can be worked at various angles. This T-handle with a universal joint allows use in very confined areas where it would be difficult to work with ordinary handles. A further improvement is a ratchet handle. With this tool, the ratchet lever can be set so that the wrench pulls in either one direction or the other and ratchets in the opposite direction. When Primitive Pete attached a simple handle to a piece of rock, he became the inventor of the first hand tool known to man. And from this beginning, through centuries of trial and error, came the vast array of fine tools we have today. Most of us take our modern tools for granted, not realizing what a vital part they play in our daily lives.
All right, that covered a lot of ground. There will not be a test on that. But there will be a test on this film, Sentence City. Enjoy.
We gotta do something. The act's just not going over. We open in Sentence City next week. Now, if we get another small crowd, we're finished. We must do something. I talk better than any talking dog in the business. What can we do? We need something new, a new twist. I have it. Writing. Writing? I'm a talker, not a writer. Rollo the writing dog. It's Socko. Wait a minute. Isn't it hard to write? Do you think I can learn to write? Sure you can. Writing's a lot like talking. You just write down the words. No kidding. I can learn to write? Why, sure, everybody can learn to write. Okay, I'll do it. I'm ready. Rollo the writing dog. Sounds good. Maybe I can give you some help. Please, don't disturb me while I'm writing. Maybe it's going to be a great book. Writing's not that easy. Everybody needs some help. Planning to write? Then you'll need good words. You can't do better than Wally's. If you need words for places, people, and things, try Wally's Nouns in the yellow carton. If it's action words you need, get Wally's Verbs in the green box. Remember, name words and action words when you write You'll need both kinds. Yes, sir, that's me. Rollo the writing dog. Here, boss, take a look at this. Bite, fuzzy, bone. Rollo, 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 my boy. You need to write more than just one word at a time. To make people understand, you have to write groups of words. You need name words. You need action words. Together, they can express a complete thought or idea. Boss, that could be a problem. Why? Well, I don't think I have any ideas. Well, we're getting to Sentence City a whole week before the show opens. You'll get plenty of ideas in a place like that. Oh, I can't wait.
Mom washes. A sentence must have at least one name word and one action word to express a complete thought. Mom washes clothes. A sentence often has more than one name word. Mom washes clothes. Mom and clothes are both name words.
Sometimes Dad does the clothes. And sometimes a sentence has more than one action word. Dad washes and dries clothes. Washes and dries are both action words.
Some action words describe movement. Actions we can see. Some action words describe action with no movement. Actions that cannot be seen. We can't see a flower need sun, but need is an action word.
Well, here we are in Sentence City. There certainly ought to be an idea for a sentence around here someplace.
I'm looking. What do I look for?
Anything. You can write a sentence about anything. Why not write about those kids?
Hey, that's a neat kite. Let me try it.
No, you'll break it.
Come on, give it here, kid.
No, you can't fly it here. It'll get stuck in the trees.
Oh, you just watch. Here goes.
Look out! Look out! Oh! See? It's caught! I told you so!
Oh, don't worry. I can get it down.
You're just lucky. You could have ruined my new kite.
Well, that bully got what he deserved. Now, do you have something to write about?
Well, yes, sir. I already thought of a sentence. How about this one? The boy grabbed the kite.
That's a wonderful sentence, Rollo. It has name words and an action word. It tells a complete thought.
You see, I started with a capital letter and ended with a punctuation mark. A nice fat period.
Oh, how did you know about that?
I'm unnatural.
That's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
You don't like lemonade?
I love lemonade, but you have a mistake.
It is spelled perfectly.
Of course, but a sentence always starts with a capital letter and ends with a punctuation mark. Always, always, always. You must put a capital D on the front and a period on the end.
Oh, like this?
Like that. Now, I'll go buy some.
Well, here are two more sentences, boss. The branch cracked, then fell.
That's not two sentences. How can then fell be a sentence? That's not a complete idea. Where's the name word? What fell? Who fell?
Oh, yeah. An action word and a name word. I was thinking about the boy falling. So it should be, then the boy fell.
Now you have it.
Dinner is ready, Professor.
Go away, Forrest. I am on the verge of a great discovery. The name words and the action words. Together, they can tell an idea. But something is missing. Maybe we could tell more. Aha! How about a kind of word to tell more about things, or about people, or about places? Yeah, the nice ghost, the mean boy, the spooky castle. That works. Those kinds of words tell more. And maybe we could have the same kind of words to go with action words. Run fast. Scream loudly. Yeah, that's good. These words help name words and action words tell more. They describe. I shall call them descriptive words.
Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you a Channel 1 news flash. We have just received word that Professor Wordsworth, working in his Transylvania laboratory, has discovered new kinds of words. Descriptive words, he calls them. These words are used with name words and action words and tell much more than the name words or action words alone. With the professor's descriptive words, instead of saying only snakes slink, you can say more, like sad snakes slink slowly. We now return you to our regular program.
30 years, I, Professor Wordsworth, have studied sentences in my secret laboratory. I have found there are 4 kinds of sentences. I will now present each kind of sentence and show the punctuation marks that go at the ends. I heard a strange noise. That states a fact. This kind of sentence is a statement. The punctuation at the end of a statement is a period. What is that weird sound? This sentence asks. This kind of sentence is a question. It ends with a question mark. Look, it's a monster! This is full of excitement. Ah, a sentence like this is an exclamation. It ends with an exclamation point. Leave this house. A sentence like this tells someone to do something. It is a command. A command sentence ends with a period. That's my newest discovery. 4 kinds of sentences and their punctuation marks. Statement, question, exclamation, and command. Boris, bring my dinner. Yeah, that's a command.
Hey, boss, come over here and look at this.
What's going on out there?
Well, it's a parade with marchers and bands and television and everything. Let's go out and see it.
Okay, let's go.
Gee, this is exciting, boss.
This is a Channel 1 first, folks. a look behind the scenes as the Sentence City Parade gets started.
All right. I want to check out each group before we start the parade. Group 1, let's have a look at you. We Sentence City. No. How many times do I have to tell you? Get an action word in there. It takes a name word and an action word. Remember? We like Sentence City. Okay, that's better. Group 2, you're awfully big. Cat, purr, and I like school. You're running on forever there. Break it up. Get rid of the and, change the punctuation. Cat, purr, I like school. Now, there you go. Group 3, that's a great sentence. Look out, here we come. But look at that no punctuation at the end. Fix it. That's right. An exclamation point. Now you're starting to look good.
Well, folks, the time is here. The Sentence City Parade is off and marching. And they have some outstanding sentences this year. They're using nouns, the name words that name persons, places, or things. And every sentence has a verb, an action word. Someone is breaking into the line. Why, it's the Mad Professor.
Monsters Zing! Wait until you see how nice my descriptive words can make this plain sentence. Happy monsters sing loudly. Much nicer, don't you think? Try some descriptive words. You'll like them.
Those words sound good, and they tell more. They describe. Isn't it beautiful, folks?
Look! It's Rolo, the talking dog.
Rolo the writing dog now, folks. Show opens Friday.
Can I have your autograph, Rolo?
Certainly. I write every chance I get. There. Oh, you like writing, too. It's not hard at all. See?
Yeah, that's how 2025 is going to go out on AV Geeks. Streaming show is a grotesque display of puppets and accents and poorly conceived ideas. That's my feeling. But what has made this all great, including this show, is you guys. You guys have really made this year worthwhile. Thank you for folks for donating. Kame Bride donated. Who else donated? Richie Ruggs donated. And then also someone who doesn't comment, but sent me a very nice donation yesterday. And I said, well, are you on the comments? And he was like, no, they're hilarious though. And maybe he will join in 2026. But Anthony, thank you so much for that kind donation. All this money is going to go to pay for flash drives. I don't know, what else? Cables, hard drives, this cordless blower, shelving, all sorts of things. So thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for being here in 2025. I could not have done it without you. So thank you so much. think I'm going to pre-record. I'm working on a show tomorrow for the new year because I might just sleep in. I don't know. I might just sip some coffee, make some delicious Pillsbury cinnamon rolls, and just watch other people's YouTube videos. I don't know. We'll see. But very much appreciate you guys. And 2026 is going to be epic because of you and because of us together. So thanks again. Love you guys so much. And we will see you on Friday, I think. All right.